Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, Robin. Hello, Terry. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late, but I was trying to get something ready to put on for tonight. I just got the pictures that I needed to add. Robin, you're aware of Val and Marina not coming on tonight, so they sent me their pictures and I just picked them up. So I was rushing trying to get them where I could show them. So I was mad rushing in PowerPoint and all kinds of stuff trying to get this stuff together. And it's not the way I normally do it because it's a rush job, but I just wanted to make sure that I was able to show their totes tonight since they did send them. And I didn't even get a chance to do my adjustments or anything. So you see me clicking on my AI and all that kind of stuff, trying to get everything together. Sorry about all of that, but that's how it is sometimes when you're rushing, trying to get things together. But I'll get it. Usually I have all of this stuff set up and ready to go by the time we go live. But like I said, um, when I noticed that I had some emails and I checked and it was the two pictures that I had um, stated that I wanted to put on, I said, well, I got them. I might as well try my best to get them up here as much. And I started doing that about, well, actually, it was, what was it? It was 3 minutes to 8. So I think I did pretty good considering I'm not that technical. But anyway, I got it done. So welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to Facebook. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, Becky. How are you? Um, I do want to greet Facebook and YouTube and welcome them and thank them for stopping by and also for anybody that is going to watch the replay. I do appreciate your support as usual. It definitely makes me feel good to know that you do watch my live stream and that you are usually on quite a bit, as far as I can tell. If you're not, if you're new, thank you for stopping by. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I do appreciate that. So, I do have two things that are going to be happening tonight. The first part of the live tonight, we're going to be talking about business essentials, mainly pricing and shipping situations. And then the second part will be our reveal for our sew along that we just completed and show the totes that we've completed. And I think we have about 7 people that will be presenting. And then I'll be showing 2 totes for the 2 people that are unable to attend tonight. So that's the plan for tonight. And like I said, I'm still adjusting. Sorry about all of that. Trying to get everything situated and fixed up and put in place. I've been moving and grooving, shaking and baking today, trying to get things together. As most of you know, that was on last week. I am traveling out of town the latter part, the end of the week, and I had some jobs to do. I had some packing to, well, getting stuff together to pack, figuring out what I'm taking, what I'm not taking, what, all of that entails, and it, doctor's appointments, all kinds of crazy stuff. So just keeps you ripping and running and busy and moving and grooving and carrying on. So, and again, today was kind of a rush day as well. Right up to the last minute, it seems things just kind of gets all crazy, and I don't even know where my phone is. So hopefully, it will not ring in the middle of this presentation because I have no clue at this moment where I laid it down. It's probably in another room, but that's okay. It can stay there. I don't, hopefully, there will not be any type of emergency. Oh, found it. Found it. I had no clue. Honestly, I had no clue. So let me put the silencer on here so won't get any calls, any ringing anyway. Yeah. So I always like to do that as well because so we won't be disturbed. Uh, I can see messages and stuff. It's just that I don't want the ringing and everything. So maybe I can take a deep breath now, or maybe just get a sip of this wine to calm down. To relax for a second because like I said, I've been shaking the bacon. Hi Deborah, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. So you know what? Since I was late getting on, I don't have time to do a whole lot of chit chatting and everything because it's 11 minutes after 8. It's time for me to get started with the presentation. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And like I said, tonight we're talking about pricing and shipping. And so, as I usually do, I always do my AI, which happens to be called Copilot now with Microsoft. And I put in there a couple of questions. And so, one of the things that I did, let me make sure I have all of this in order. Pricing, how to set up pricing. As most of you all know, I have been preparing to start my Etsy shop, and so with that in mind, I have been reading some books and looking at different YouTubes and what have you, and trying to get some background information about how to set everything up, what it all entail, and everything. And as I go through all of these processes, I keep running across interesting information. And one of the things that stood out was talking about pricing and shipping. And I will be quoting some information out of this book that I have. This is just one of it. Etsy Business Launch and Elisa Gardner and what's his name? Gary Gardner. So I wanted to make sure that I give them credit for the stuff that I'm going to talk about. No copyright or anything like that. I am giving credit to the people, Etsy Business Launch, and it will be some information from this book written by Elisa Gardner and Garrett Gardner when I get ready to talk about some of that. So I just wanted to put that out there up front so I won't get in trouble with YouTube with copyright and so forth and so on because I'm not stealing anybody's stuff. I'm giving them credit for everything they've done. And so when I did Google with the Copilot, I asked the question about how to price machine embroidered items that you're going to sell online. And they mentioned that there's several factors involved, which we've talked about before. And just wanted to reiterate because it's very important. What I found interesting, especially today, when I was doing my research, I looked at least three different articles and all three of them said the exact same thing. And that was people should not be stressing over how to come up with how to price their items. That is a very simple solution, a very simple strategy or process or what have you. And it shouldn't be something that people are, stressing over. However, on the flip side of that, everybody that I talk to tell me that they don't know how to price their things. They don't know what's a good price. When I go online to some of the Facebook groups that I belong to and different, um, just looking at different things on Facebook, People are saying, well, this is what I'm doing and I don't know what to charge. And this is what I'm doing and I don't know what to charge. I charged this price and the person got upset and this, that, and the other, and so forth and so on. So, that's contradictory of what the article is saying, except for the fact basically what they're saying is what I mentioned before. Know your worth, be fair, set your price, and stick to it and own it. And if you're good enough, if your work is good enough and your customer service is good enough, then you will do okay. You won't get everybody, but you'll get the right body. And that's all that matters. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. However, how do you get to that place of comfort of selecting your price? And as always, you definitely have to look at the cost of your material and calculate the cost of all materials used in creating the embroidered item. And this includes your fabric, your thread, your stabilizer, and any other material that you use. Now, we know this, those of us that do embroidery or any type of craft, and you have materials that you have to purchase. Your customer could care less about what goes into a garment as far as stabilizer, thread, and so forth and so on. They just want to know the bottom line, how much you're going to charge. But we, as the creators of the product, we have to take those things into consideration because they're expensive. If you are embroidering items every day, your cost goes up every day because you are constantly using stabilizer and oftentimes multiple different kinds of stabilizer. You are using multiple spools of threads. You are using a whole boatload of needles. And speaking of needles, I just want to add this in while it's on my mind. Questions have always come up. How often do you change your needles? My advice to you is as often as possible, as needed. Now, I'm not saying change your needle every time you do a project like some people have suggested in other videos I've looked at. I do think that it has a lot to do with how many stitches that you have put on that needle, if you know, or how long that needle has been used, which is probably easier to determine. The type of needle that you're using and the type of fabric that you've been stitching on. But a perfect example, stitching today, I could tell needle needs to be changed. When you start seeing skip stitches, loops, anything that doesn't look perfect, the first thing you need to look at is your needle. That needle's getting dull and it needs to be changed, and there's no way around it. There's no excuse for it. Don't try to save money, none of that kind of stuff, because on in, on the flip side of that coin, in the long run, it's going to bite you in the butt because you're not going to have a good product. You're going to have things that do not look good. So I would rather spend, um, you can get 100 needles for what? Last time I was looking, I think on All Stitch, 100, um, a pack of 175 11 organ needles, I think was running right around 50, close to 50, not quite 50, but somewhere in that area. Buy them, buy them, keep them, because you're going to use them if you're doing a lot of stitching. If you're not doing a lot of stitching, then you don't need that many. But if you're doing this as a business or you are pretty busy with your stitching, and that's pretty much what we're talking about, something that we're making to sell or even giveaway, because your reputation is very important as to what your product looks like. You definitely need to make sure that it looks good. And like I said, your number one thing is going to be your needles. Then you got, well, hooping, stabilizer, needles, put it in that order. And then, of course, the quality of your thread. So those are four things that you have to look at. You have to make sure that you hooped with the correct stabilizer, with a good needle and good thread. And then you pretty much will have a pretty decent um, output if your design is good and all of those other variables that may not be something that you have direct control over if you didn't digitize it yourself and so forth and so on. But those things are very important. So just keep that in mind. So I digress. So let me get back on there. And so they said that, include the cost, fabric, thread, stabilizer, other materials such as needles and anything else that you may be using. Maintain the maintenance of your machine. Very important, extremely important. Consider the cost of maintaining your embroidery machine. And this includes any repairs or replacement needed for parts of the machine. Now, I don't think we've ever mentioned anything about the cost of the maintenance. We've talked about maintaining the machine, getting it um, looked at once a year and so forth and so on, all of those kinds of things. But as far as actually making sure that you take into consideration how much you pay to have your machine the maintenance done on your machine on an annual basis, and if you have to do any type of repair on your machine, those things have to be taken into consideration. You know, it's not the customer's fault that your machine may have had an issue, but you can't do the customer's job if your machine is not working. And if you had to pay to have your machine fixed, then that is a cost of doing business, and that's a cost of doing business, and that needs to be added into taken into consideration when you're setting a price. Labor costs. Determine how much time it takes to create each item and decide on a reasonable hourly wage for your work. Now, that is the part that a lot of people kind of get squeamish about. Labor. I work for myself, so I'm not actually paying myself. So, how do I charge per hour? It's your worth. If you were working on a job outside of your home, and whatever your skill set may be while you're working or when you were working, you know how much money you were making based upon your experience and your skill set. Then you need to take that into consideration with your experience and skill set in your embroidery. Now, you may not have as many years of embroidery experience, and you may have. I don't know. But if you got 20 years of experience on your job and you're getting paid for those 20 years of experience and you only have 4 years of experience in embroidery, you're not going to expect to get paid what you were making with 20 years experience or whatever that particular job may have garnered as a wage, because some jobs pay more, some jobs pay less. It just depends upon what your career is, what you normally do, and what you normally make. But what you do need to take into consideration, again, your skill set. What is your capability worth? What is it that you know how to do embroidery wise that garners a fee? If you're new, just getting started, want to make a little extra cash, as I've mentioned, that you should charge a little bit, is nothing but $5, then that's what you do. But if you've been doing this for a while and you know your work is good, the quality is good, then that should go up. Now, they being people that I've read, listened to on YouTube and different places, say a good starting off average for the typical person that I won't say like years and years of experience, but somebody with 4, 5 years of experience, pretty good, know what you're doing. Uh, $15 to $20 per hour is not too much to look for. Now, this is per hour. We're not talking about per garment. We're talking about per hour, because you have to factor that in when you're calculating what you're going to charge for one item. So that's just part of it. But you do have to take into consideration your labor costs. And you need to be fair about it, but you need to be fair to yourself as well. Overhead costs include any overhead costs such as electricity, rent, if you're renting, or your mortgage, or, and this is for your space, not for your whole entire house, because when you're doing your taxes, you know how that works. So your space that you actually do your embroidery in is that part of the rent, because nobody needs to, you don't need to divide your monthly mortgage anyway. But you do need to take into consideration electricity, rent. Um, if you're renting, we talk about Angela Jasmina has a 9,000 square foot um, warehouse, and AW has a warehouse. Who else? Those are only two people I know that actually have warehouses. I'm sure there are many other people. I'm just not aware of those people, but they're paying warehouse space rent or mortgage, whichever one they're doing, and that has to be taken into consideration. Like Angela's a perfect example. That entire warehouse is her business. So the cost of whatever it is that she pays monthly for that warehouse is part of her cost that she needs to take into consideration. So that's how you look at it from that standpoint. And profit margin. Decide on a profit margin that you want to earn from each sale. It doesn't make sense to do a business if you're not going to make a profit, if you're not going to make any money, if you're not going to, um, make a profit. What's the point? Now, are you going to make a profit from Jump Street? Maybe not, but you will make a profit, but it goes back into the business. And you got to make a profit to keep the business going, because it has to go back into the business until you keep growing and growing to the point where you actually have money that is a true profit that you can sit aside and say, okay, I'm earning money and I'm able to do other things with it and so forth and so on. But you got to have a profit margin. Market research. Look at how much people in your area as well as online are selling their similar items for. And then you adjust accordingly. You don't want to be too high or too low. You want to be kind of running close by, maybe a dollar more, dollar less, or somewhere in that neighborhood. But you got to be kind of close by. You can't be way up here, and you definitely don't want to be way down there. So you have to kind of know what will sell in your area. What I can sell a garment here for may be way less than what someone in New York or California or some of those places like that can sell a garment for, because things are much higher there and people are used to that and they will pay those kinds of fees. Go further south and you're not going to be able to sell what I charge for somebody that's saying Mississippi or Louisiana or Oklahoma or someplace, I don't know, more rural. You may not, and maybe you can't. I don't know, because if things are scarce there and they don't have a lot of people to do the work, then they can charge more. That's just kind of how it works. But anyway, shipping costs. If you're selling online, remember to add the shipping costs. If you're carrying things to people, now I do know that some people may be doing jobs around. They're not necessarily doing jobs online like a Etsy or Shopify or something like that. They may just be doing things in their community, people that they know, people from church, work, what have you. But if you are taking these items to your customers, that's a charge. That's your shipping right there, because you're driving, spending up gas. You need to count that. Don't forget about that. A lot of people say, well, I don't ship, I just take it to them. Unless that is you're going there anyway. If you're making an extra trip, which I've done when I was in Florida doing masks and stuff, I literally did that for several places. I literally took things to my customers and did not think about it at the time, did not know at the time that that's something that I should have been adding to the cost. But that's gas. That's gas and time. So keep that in mind. It's not just UPS and the post office and FedEx and what have you charges. It's your gas charge too if you're actually driving somewhere to take somebody an item. Keep that in mind. And your pricing strategy, you can sell the garment with a higher markup and include the sewing for free or what have you. They say a markup is basically, um, as we mentioned before, you buy a garment for $5 and you mark it up to 10 or whatever, however you want to do that. But you mark it up because you got to you're figuring out a way to make money. If you get a discount, does not mean that that's your customer's discount. That's your discount. If you buy in bulk, that's your discount bulk charge, not theirs. So you do not have to pass that price on. I have been lax in that as well. And the more you read, the more you learn, the more you listen to other people, the more you learn because I have passed on my discount to my customers, which I should not have been doing. But I have been doing. If I didn't pay but X amount of dollar for a shirt, then that's all I charged them for that shirt because that's all I bought, all I paid, which is not the way you do business and want to make money. That's not how you do it. And then, of course, he brought up I want to say old fashioned, but the way that most people have been taught that get into the embroidery business, and that is the method of pricing your embroidery based upon stitch counts. If you are a newbie, this is AI now. All of this I've been talking about has been AI. You can start charging 50 cents per thousand stitches, and they have heard as increases as high as $4 per thousand stitches, depending upon the design, size, and what have you. So that is what the AI has said about pricing. Now, I want to get to this information that I got out of the book that I mentioned, as well as some of this that I read, and because we do have something else that we have to do tonight, and I want to make sure that we get everything done. Um, this particular chapter that I was reading is they said that pricing is a simple formula. I don't think it's that simple, but you should calculate your cost per item. So if you buy material in bulk, you got to divide the total cost of the estimated numbers of items you can make and ship with those materials. And of course, as we mentioned, factor in the expense of your shop, and that includes emailing if you do any of that, graphic design, subscriptions, any of those kinds of things, if you're doing any of those things. Um, Talks about labor. Also, it mentions to be make a conservative estimate based on your planned inventory for the month. So you don't want to just you know say you're going to do more than what you're going to do because you can get yourself in trouble. It talks about pay for time and labor. Of course, you got to do that. Taking any other fees that you may have, markup, and be sure that you do the math. You have to do the math. They do have some uh, calculators that you can purchase or apps, what have you, that you can use to help you calculate how to charge for certain items. So be sure to look that up and see what you can find to make sure that you are doing this correctly. Because even though they say it's simple, it really isn't that simple because there is some math that has to be brought into the situation because you have to do percentages. The other thing is with the markup, it is saying that the general markup runs in between 30% and 40%. And some people go as high as 50% with the markup. But someone starting off new, they recommend that you do 30% markup, but you do need to add your markup. And again, that is per item. So the markup may sound like it's not fair, but it is because when you do the math and stuff, oftentimes it is maybe dollar 50 cent per item. It's not like a huge amount of money. It just really depends upon what it is that you're selling and what price that you have come up with. but you do need to add the markup. So you're adding several things up. That's why it is recommended that you get a calculator if you can, a embroidery pricing calculator. Now, in this particular book, they did mention a calculator that is specific for calculating prices for selling on Etsy, not necessarily in general, but there is one that if you sell on Etsy, you can definitely get this calculator. And it's an app that can help you figure out what charges to charge and how to come up with those charges based upon your input. Now, I do know that I think I've seen online, specifically on Etsy, because there are so many people that sell business information where they have spreadsheets that you can buy where you can put in information based upon your electricity, your rent, the price of stabilizer, all the way down to per sheet, 6 cent, 3 cent, how much thread you use, all of that. I mean, it can be very tedious if you want it to be, which I think is just way too much for me to deal with. But there are certain spreadsheets that you can get if you go on Etsy and just put in spreadsheet for calculating embroidery pricing. Something will come up and you will get a whole bunch of different types of spreadsheets and stuff that you can utilize. Pick the one that works best for you, see if it works out for you to input data. So just to give you an idea as to what it is that you want to how you're gonna do the charging and everything. So that would make sense in doing that. I know for me, I intend to do the calculator at least in the beginning to see if it's going to make any sense to me to be able to price items because for me, I have in my head what I want to charge or what I think I should charge, but is that the right price? Is it too much, too less, or whatever? But the other thing that is extremely important, and don't forget about it, is even if you're not doing Etsy, Shopify, or anything online, if you're just selling something to your neighbor, to your friend down the street, or what have you, you want to make sure you don't cheat yourself. So you need to look and see what that item is that you're making. What are people selling them for? You can go online, you can go in Facebook groups, you can ask those questions, all of that, and figure out what people are selling things for. I have seen prices all the way up here to down there. I know it was one particular person that had mentioned, and it stuck in my head. Don't know what group it was or who the person was, but I remember this person said I don't turn my machine on for less than $15. Period. I don't care if you want me to stitch one letter. I do not turn my machine on for less than $15. That stuck in my head because it made a lot of sense. It adds to the other comment that I've read and heard about charging hooping fees. Nobody has talked about hooping fees, but that's similar to turning your machine on. If you have to hoop something, which we all do, that's a charge. People think because a machine is doing it, so they think. If it's something simple like one letter, that should not be $10, $15 or more, depending upon the intricacy of that one letter. It's just one letter, $5 or $6. Bam, I'm done. No, that's not the way it works. But that's what people would think because in their head it's just a simple thing because they don't know the process. They just know it's one letter. And why am I giving you $15 to do one letter? Why am I giving you $10 to do one letter? And I think $10 is too little to charge for one letter because you got to take into all the other things. Yeah, that would be the minimum. That would definitely be the minimum for me because again, this person said he didn't turn his machine on for less than 15. And I tend to agree with him because you have to know how to hoop correctly to get it right. And then you got all this other stuff to go with it. So that is pretty much the situation on um on pricing. Now I do have more, and um I feel like I might be rushing a little bit because I know that there are people that are waiting anxiously to show their totes and what have you, and I want to get to that, and I don't want us to be too long going over, and I was late starting, so that didn't help any as well. I'm going to go over these 10 steps right quick. And this is supposed to be a 10-step formula for creating embroidery pricing that will uh, make you a profit. And it pretty much talks about the same thing. Um, Number one, figure all of your base costs so you would know exactly what your break even point is every month. Figure what break even point is per hour to cover all of your overhead costs. Now, these are the formula. Break even point every month. Had not heard that phrase before. Figure what your break even point is per hour to cover all of your overhead costs. Divide that cost into minutes and into seconds. That's step number two. Number three, go through all of your processes to determine how much time each process takes and what the cost actually is for each process. Multiply the time for each process by the cost per minute or second. This is your production cost, which is hooping, steaming, packing, waiting on customer, planning, etc., beyond your stitch count running time. So that's your process time. You have to multiply that. Very important. Step four, add those figures together to figure out what your actual production cost is per minute beyond the stitch count. Something we forget about. We just think about stitch counts and keep on going. Five, multiply your cost per minute by how many hours you run your business per day to get your daily break even point. You now know exactly what it costs you per day to operate your business. Step six, figure out how long you are actually running your embroidery machine per hour, which is how many minutes of the actual hour your machine is running. If you are only running your embroidery machine 30 minutes during the hour, your break even point is going to double for the hour. If you are charging by the minute when the machine is running and not for the time that it is sitting there doing nothing, you are losing money. If you figure out that on an 8-hour day, your machine is running a total of 4 or 6 hours, you must divide your total daily break even point into the 4 or 6 hours to arrive at your true break even cost per hour. Divide that cost up into minutes. You will now have a true cost per hour that you figure your pricing on for stitch count per minute for machine running time. Now I know this is a lot to process just listening to me, because for me it is making sense, but it's something that I would have to read again and again. So I understand that. And I got this article from Embroidery Coach, the Embroidery Coach. So if you Google the Embroidery Coach, you can find this article, which is your formula working for your pricing, for pricing your embroidery? And it says here is a 10-step formula for creating a price list that will make you a profit. So if you want to look this up, the Embroidery Coach. Now, I said this is making sense to me because the one thing that has always been in the back of my mind when people start talking about stitch count and electricity and hooping and this and that and the other, what about, well, hooping, what about the time it takes you to get the stuff ready to put on the machine? You can't just count what's happening on the machine. You have to count the behind the scene. And I don't mean electricity, rent, and all this stuff. I mean actually the physical work that you have to do to get your product ready to put on the machine. The cutting your stabilizer, hooping it. If you're using anything other than just stabilizer, if you're using, some people use the FS101 and put it on there and then stabilizer. Some people use Terrio Magic to stiffen the cloth before they hoop it. It's so many things that you do that gets it ready to go on the machine. You can't forget about that because you can't just go by so many stitches per minute and you're in it stitches out for 30 minutes, but it took you 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever to get it on the hoop. So what about those 10 minutes? You got to count them some kind of way. So the way this person is talking about it makes a lot of sense to me. And I don't know if anybody's thought about that, but I have. Because I know for me, sometimes it can take time to get this stuff together to put on the machine. And then once you get it off the machine, you got to cut the stabilizer off. You may want to put some tender touch on it. Uh, you may want to, you got to fold it, put it in a bag or whatever you're going to do. You may need to do some type of steaming or pressing or whatever. Those are also things that count that we're not talking about when we start talking about stitches per, $1 for 1,000 stitch or whatever. That has never made sense to me from the first time I heard about it because I said that has no way of giving a true cost. What if you have a garment or something that you make is 50,000 stitches? What is that, $50? Are you going to charge $50 for that tote bag that had this intricate design on it? Or whatever it is that you stitched? I don't know. I thought about those things. So I don't know if you guys have or not. But anyway, number 7, you will have to figure out how long it takes to run the design on your machine by the stitch count. Multiply that running time by your cost per minute. When you are timing your designs, do not forget the color changes and trim times. Thank you. Jump stitches. I can't stand those jump stitches, but you got to cut them. You got to cut them. And if you're doing a single needle machine, you got to change thread. You can't forget about that. You are actually figuring the total time, start to finish, not just the stitch count run time. And even if you have a multi needle machine, you need to charge for your different colors that you're using. Step 8, add the stitch count cost to the production cost in step 4. You will now have your true cost per design for however many stitches are in your design. You just cannot figure your pricing on stitch count alone. It does not work and will not make you any money. I am so glad that somebody put this out because I've been thinking about that from day one and nobody has said anything. Number 9, figure what you want to add for a markup. Without a markup, you do not have any profits to build or grow your business on. You cannot do it just charging for your cost. After your markup, you now have the selling price of each embroidery per stitch count. Now you can create your price list based on the actual cost of each design. You will need to experiment and run several stitch count samples to come up with a good cost per 1,000 stitches for your price list. And number 10, create a price list for the items that you sell. Take your purchase price from the distributor and add the shipping costs for your true cost and then add a markup. Add your embroidery to create your total selling price. And they're hoping that this formula will help you think about how you figure your pricing. This formula works. Pricing your embroidery for a profit is not hard. Again, this is not hard. It does take time to get this all figured out, but you must take the time to do it in order to make a profit with your business. If you cannot make a profit, there is no point of staying in business. I know that this sounds like you're going to have a very high price for embroidery, but that is what you should be charging for your embroidery. Most embroiderers are not even covering their costs, let alone making a profit. Now, this came from the embroidery coach. So look them up, read the article for yourself, read it over and over until you understand it. Hopefully, it makes sense. So I just want to say hi to Danielle, hi, Mrs. Karen G, hi, Leslie, and hi, Embroidery Threads. And Embroidery Threads, I see where you say, I saw a Facebook group say a dollar per thousand stitch plus 30%. Yes, you're going to see all kinds of different analysis, and everybody has their take on how to do it, when and where, and all of that. I have never ever been a proponent of that dollar per thousand stitch because, as I stated, that has never made sense to me. This article right here is the first time I've heard anybody say anything that made any kind of sense, because it is looking at everything that goes into embroidery and getting your product ready to sell, from the beginning to the final process. And embroidery is not cheap. We all know that. The product, excuse me, the materials that we purchase to do the embroidery is not cheap. We cannot go to anybody that sells thread, stabilizers, needles, or anything that we need and tell them they're charging us too much money for their product. If we want it, we got to pay what they charge. Let me repeat that. We cannot go to anybody that sells stabilizers, needles, threads, or anything, hoops, or embroidery machines, and tell them that they're charging too much for their product. If we want it, we have to pay what they charge. So why do we have a problem charging what is fair and right for what we make? We just have to figure out what that is based upon our own experiences, our own expenses, and the quality of our work, and then put that charge there. Now, the only thing that this article says that I'm not quite in agreement with, if you do custom work. Now, if you do bulk work, or continuous, like if you sell a product on Etsy and it's the same thing over and over and over again, you can have a price list. But if you're doing custom work, as Jeanette from Baroka Sewing and Crafts says, each one has a different price, individual price, not necessarily different, but each order has an individual price based upon what is, is entailed in that particular product, item, garment. So you can't have a quote unquote price list. You can have a list stating what all of these things cost, and then add them up into what it is going to cost you to produce the custom item and come up with a price, because you got to have your digitizing and all of that stuff that goes into the custom garment. But if you're just doing blankets and blankets and blankets, or towels and towels and towels, or baby biz, baby biz, whatever it is that you're doing over and over and over and over and over again and again and again. Yes, you have to have a price, and this is how you come up with that particular price. And you have a price list that if you do this size, it's this price, that size is that price. If you do it whatever, whatever, then this is the price of it. And people know what that is. So it's no surprise to them. They know that they're going to pay $9.99, whatever, whatever. When you go to the store, you know whatever it is you're going to buy costs X amount of money every time you go in the store, unless they have a sale or they raise the price or whatever. But custom is not like that. Custom is going to be just that, custom. You come to me and you want me to do XYZ. Same thing with rush orders. You come to me and you want me to do XYZ and you want it done right now if you do rush orders. But that's what I have to say about um, pricing. Hopefully, that has given you a little bit more enlightenment on pricing, because I wanted to make sure I got that last article in, because that is different than what I've heard from anybody since I've been looking up information about pricing and how to come up with it and so forth and so on. So I know I said that I was going to do shipping information as well. And I do have a little information on shipping, but what I'm going to do now, because I want to make sure that I get the reveal done, and if we have any time left over with questions or anything like that, then we can do the reveal. So um, I'm looking to see if I have any questions or anything. I don't. I know there's not a lot of people in here right now, but I can understand people may have come and left because I was a little late getting on and they might have thought I wasn't coming. I don't know. That may have had something to do with it. Or who knows, maybe nobody want to hear about pricing. But pricing is something, again, like I said, that has always been an issue with a lot of people. And it still remains even so with me. I'm trying to learn what how to do it. The information that I just read is extremely helpful. I just need to figure out how to do all of that. And like they said, it's not something that's going to be simple to do. It's going to take time and a lot of effort, a lot of research, looking to see exactly what your costs are, so you can calculate them and figure them out. But I am glad to hear that with that particular article, that they did take into consideration something way more than what we talked about, as far as a dollar per thousand stitch, and even the rent, electricity, and your notions and all that kind of stuff like that. It's the production. It is the true production of the garment, of the item. It is a production. There are things and processes that we have to go through, that we have to do in order to get something done. If you're making something like appliques, that's a perfect example. Nobody really, I don't know who does a lot of selling of items that have appliques. I know I don't intend to. Maybe custom, but it definitely would not be anything that I would be doing on a bulk order, because that is an extremely time consuming production, with all of the cutting out of the little pieces that you have to put on there and then cut trimming and all of that. No, that garment would cost a zillion million dollars. And we talked about how much we would charge for our Christmas tree skirts that the So Long group made. Um, and every one of us said a lot of money, probably way more than what anybody would really want to pay, because of all the time and energy and effort and the production labor that went into it to get it ready. and the production cost of getting it ready. Those skirts were not cheap to make with all of the stuff that had to be done. So, you know, your fabrics, your threads, your SF101 stable interfacing, and the stabilizer, and your the hooping and the design itself, all of that. You put all of that stuff in there, and then of course the labor that went into it. That though, yeah, that was a lot of money. That was something that cost a lot of money. I don't even know exactly how much money I spent, but it was, I would have to say, $200-300, at least two, if not more, just to gather everything together to make. So, and that didn't include the price of the design because I already had the design, so I didn't have to add that into what I paid. And I'm sure there were people that probably paid more depending upon what they paid for their fabric, because I didn't pay a lot for my fabric. There were some people that paid for premium price fabric, so that would make it even go up even higher. And there were some people that were blessed and lucky and they shopped at home. And they didn't have to pay anything. But they did because they bought it, but they bought it before. So it still counts as a charge. So you can't, that's something we tend to forget. But just because you bought it a year ago or 2 or 3 years ago doesn't mean you didn't pay for it. You did. So that is still a cost that needs to be added. If you were to sell that, you would need to add that in there. So hi Jackie, how you doing? So let me get started. Hi, Carol. How are you? And you were saying, did any of the calculations include the cost of the machine itself? Uh, in case you missed that, it well, it didn't. There was an article that I read, and I may have it here, and it did say to include the cost of your machine. But you know, you break it down and it mentioned depreciation and all of that kind of stuff. So yes, that is a consideration to take in. You know, you're looking at the maintenance of it and maintaining it, even if it breaks down, that not just the annual maintenance, but if you have to pay for any type of repair of any kind, then that also should be taken into consideration. But yes, there was, I don't know if it was the last one that I read. Um, well, I know it wasn't the last one that I read, but one of the ones that I read did mention the cost of your machines. And it, you know, that varies too, because we know everybody has different machines and pay different amounts of money for it. You know, if you got a 10 needle machine or a multi needle machine of anything, cost it's gonna cost you way more than some of the flatbeds, not all. You know, some of them flatbeds cost as much as a multi needle machine, and we know that. But some, you know, are less. But you still have, if you're using it for business, that is a business expense because you're definitely going to be talking about that on your taxes. So you have to take all those things into consideration. And you know, we all, I'm not talking about taxes and stuff like that, but I do want to make sure everybody knows, keep your receipts, keep your receipts, keep your receipts. So let me see who all is here so I can dive into the reveal. Let me see if everybody is here that I need. Okay, Becky's here, Robin's here, Danielle's here, Jackie's here, Leslie's here, and I'm here. Taisha's not here yet. She is the only one that's on the list that's not here that's supposed to be showing tonight. Let me see if I got a message from her or anything, or she's just running late. Oh, okay. Taisha's here. Thank you. I didn't see you. So I did get a message. She's here. So everybody's here so I can get started. And number one is going to be Becky, but let me see. I don't see anybody in. Let me see. Let me see what I need to be doing to bring you guys in. Now, is anybody having any issues um, coming in? Let me see if there's something that I need to do because I don't see anybody that's waiting. If anybody is waiting to come in, let me know so I can bring you in. And everybody got their link. Okay, Robin, you said you are waiting. You are waiting. So why don't I see you waiting? Why don't I see you waiting? Maybe let me take this out. And Becky, you're waiting and let everybody's backstage, but I'm not seeing anybody. Okay, that's good to know that everybody's back there waiting. And now it's up to me to figure out how to get you in. For some reason, I'm not seeing anybody that's waiting. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to here we are, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. I'm not seeing how to bring you guys in. You think I sent the wrong what? The wrong link? At the top of the link, it says the So Long Project Reveal Quilter Table Runner. It says that the session has ended. That, well, okay. I guess I did send you guys the wrong link then. Because let me give you, you're just watching. Everybody's camera shy. Okay, I have a link. If you guys write, I'm going to put this link in here. I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to run it across the screen. And you guys write it down and then you should be able to come in. Because I just clicked on a new link. So hopefully that will not that link. Let me do a new link. So I'm going to put in the new link and we'll get this rolling. It's always something. So I just put in the link. I don't know how to make this stop. So it is going to be https://streamyard.com. Then it's UUMPNR7AQV. UUMPNR7AQV. You guys can do that. Then all of you all should have the link. Hopefully that will work. I am so sorry. I did not realize you got a new link for everyone. I'm learning. Now I know. Every time you do a new one, you have to have a new link. So there we go. Got you in, Danielle. You can tell who is the computer geek and who's not. Since you're the first person that popped in, I am going to go ahead and, okay, Taisha got you in here. So as you guys get the link and everything and you're popping in, I'm going to go ahead and pull you up. So Danielle, I'm going to bring you in, okay? You ready? Let me go little. I want you to go big. Nope, that ain't what I want. This is what I want.
Hey, am I frozen? Uh-oh. Everybody can see and hear. Can you? It looks like I'm frozen. Am I frozen? Bummer. Okay, there I am. Can you hear me? See me? Yes? This is what I made, if you can see this. And we all did a quilt as you go, and I had to start off small. So I did a little zipper pouch, a little quilt as we go zipper pouch. And inside is just lined just regularly. but I had to put all these little pieces together that were in my stash, and I just did a little zipper pouch. And all of the people that are in my space are trying to take my zipper pouch, but I still have it because I knew I had to show it to all of you. Did it work, y'all? Did you hear me?
Mom.
I made a zipper bag. Um, Quote as you go. This was the Sophia tote, and I used the straps that they required for it, which was 2 layers, one with batting and one with fusible fleece in it. And I lined it. And then I made another one, which was quilted. This, I believe this is the Alexandria tote. This one, I put a pocket in it. And I also put a key holder in it because I hate for my keys to fall in the bottom of my bag. So I put a key holder on it, and I use fusible webbing for the straps. Okay. They were easy to do, and they were a lot of fun, except for I had problems when it came to selecting the fabrics, but I think they turned out fine. I'm satisfied with both of them.
Hello, everyone. My name's Leslie B. Williams, and I made my bag is from Sweet Bee, Sweet Pea, and I did this. There was 6 panels for each side, 6 on this side and 6 on the other, so for a total of 12. And I made it 6 by 6, and the handles were supposed to be, I added like maybe 5 inches on each one because I wanted it to be a shoulder bag. And I also used cork fabric. So it has a lining. It has a lining. And I incorporated the colors from that were on the outside to for the inside and for the handles. It was a lot of fun to make, but originally I started with a towel cowl, which is you wear this on your over your neck, and you have towels like if you want to wash your hands or handle food or something, it's readily available. And I used African fabric that I had, and I cut it in diagonal strips that I was able to get from my stash. So this was a quilt as you go. And the only thing I found I had a problem with is by the time I got all the fabric cut, it didn't fit. And I basically had to, make it extra longer than what the pattern was until I found out that, you got to make it like a scant quarter-inch seam. But this is what I made. Uh, very functional. So I'm going to make some more, probably not with this pattern, quilt as you go, because there's so many different ones um, on, different websites. So uh, that's what I did. Instead of using the white fabric, I got a black towel. All it takes is one towel that you cut in half, and you're able to make the towel cowl. So that's it for me.
I don't think you guys can hear me because I was off, but thank you. I am watching. This thing is acting silly tonight because I'm trying my best to see how I can be on at the same time with you guys being on, and it ain't working like it's supposed to. But what else is new? Everything else is messing up tonight. That might as well mess up too. Okay, the next person I'm bringing on is going to be Deborah. But what else is new?
Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can see me.
We can see you.
Okay.
And I'm going to get off so you'll be bigger.
As many of you know, I did the June Taylor bag. Hopefully you can see me. Oh, it's a repeat. Okay. But I gifted the bag to my sister who lives in California. She was here visiting me.
Turn your computer down. Turn it down.
I submitted a video. I gifted the bag. So I'm hoping that Shirley can show the video.
I got the video.
I submitted a video. As you go, Sophie bag by June Taylor. And this one I've made in a blue and white cotton fabric. It has a white piping and this one I've made all around throughout the bag. And white cotton fabric. The top of the bag is made out of a contrasting flower, which I really, really like. Opening the bag, we have a blue and white striped canvas fabric, which to give it a little more stability. And I have a large 8 by 8 inch pocket in here for your cell phone, in case everything else gets lost. The straps, or the handle, is made out of a blue cotton ribbed fabric, has a 12-inch drop. The bag has, as you can see, box corners on both sides. I think it came out pretty well. And that again is the Quote As You Go Sophie bag.
Okay.
That again is thank you.
Now, Deborah did her video, not because she wasn't going to be here tonight, but she gifted her bag to her sister. And the sister had come to visit before the reveal tonight. So I asked her if she would mind doing a video presenting her bag so we could show it because it was such a beautiful bag. And I wanted to make sure that she was able to show it to the group. And I didn't get a chance to comment on the other people that presented ahead of her because I couldn't get this doggone thing to work where I was on there and they were on there and all of that. So I didn't want to slight anybody. So I did mention Danielle's bag and Leslie's pineapple bag with the cork bottom is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So she was telling us about how she was putting the things together and kind of getting the you have to flip this and fold that and all of that. And see, I'm not a quilter, so I get it, but she managed to get it done, and as you can see, it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And then Taisha, of course, did two bags, and she added a pocket, and she also added a key strap, which is an excellent idea. I don't know why I didn't think about that because I'm just like you, Taisha. I hate losing my keys down at the bottom of my bag. So that was an excellent idea. So I think I got everybody, Deborah, um, Danielle, and Taisha and Leslie that I didn't comment on. So now I'm going to go to Becky. She is waiting now.
All right. What I did was the tote bag from Sweet Pea, which was a zipper tote bag. It has two big pockets on the side, on each side, and a zipper pocket here, and then here on the side, a long one this way. And then I've extended the handles to 25 inches because it needed more depth through here to me. And then I took it and did a pocket also, and then another pocket on top of the pocket where you could put like a little credit card or something right in there, and then big enough room for with a snap for your phone. Then I took the same thing so that you don't lose your keys and everything. I made a little teeny bag on top of that one and added that. And then there's also an attachment where you could attach something other so you didn't lose your keys down in here in the bottom, because I'm the same way. I hate losing my keys. But I really like this. It turned out really cute for out of a bundle of fat quarters. Turned out cute.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and I love those pockets on the side, and of course the keychain, and
Yeah.
then you made the little cute little purse to go with it. Now
Another little
we
purse. Yeah,
a
it's
little
just
coin purse.
yeah, a little coin purse, or you can hold keys or whatever you want to it. And it's made out of one zipper. One half of the zipper is and then the handles is the other half of the zipper. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! See, we got overachievers in this group.
It
All
turned
these,
out cute. Yeah, I
all
enjoyed
these
it.
over.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So who is Robin? Okay, let me get Becky down, and then Robin.
I
Robin,
don't
we
understand.
cannot see you.
I know, and my cam is. I don't understand.
Oh,
I don't know why it's black.
oh, girl, this is the night. This is the night. I'm gonna let you work on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and do mine. Well, actually, I'm not gonna do mine. I'm gonna do Val and Marina. So let me take you down, and then maybe you can get it. See if you can get it working while I'm doing these other two.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, I'm trying to get you off, Leslie, and I can't get you off for some reason. I don't know why you're still on here, but let me see. There's two people that did the so long that's not on tonight for various reasons, but they did send me pictures. And Jackie, I did get your I did get your message, and don't worry about being camera shy. But if you had sent me a picture of your beautiful bag, I would have been able to put it up. Um, so, going forward, just let me know ahead of time, and I can always accommodate. Nobody has to go on that does not want to go on. So I don't want anybody to feel pressured that they have to go on. Just let me know, and you let me know ahead of time. Then I will get your pictures of your bag or whatever we're doing, and go ahead and make the presentation for you. Or an excellent option, you can go on and not show your face, so nobody sees you, but they see your beautiful work. So let that be an option to anybody else that may be camera shy, because I understand everybody is not an introvert like me. I don't know why I it, I don't think about it. As you can tell, I really don't think about it. It doesn't bother me one way or the other to be on camera in front of all these people that I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I ain't gonna see you. You ain't gonna see me. So who cares? Whatever. Anyway, I am gonna go ahead and present Val's bag first. So this is Val's bag, Val Dawson, and she made this. Oh, good, Robin, got your picture going. So I'll pull you up in a little bit. And she did this, and let me see what she said. Um, she did tell us about her bag. So I want to see what she said. Okay, this is her bag, and she said that it has pockets and a snap closure at the top. So there, and yeah, right in this area here, there's a pocket that she lined up, because I remember her saying that was a challenge for her. But as you can see in the middle, she was able to line her pocket up pretty good, and do this beautiful bag in this African fabric. It's a little small. That Now these are her words, but it's really really cute, and I just love it. I just love how the strap is going up, and I don't know if you can see my pointer or not, but I'm just showing the mouse going up and everything, and the fabric. But it's really really cute, and this is Val's bag. And the next bag um is wait a minute, let me get it back up. Marina's bag. Now she did not give me any any she did not give me any instruction or any details about her bag to present tonight. She's not feeling well, unfortunately, so she was barely able to get me a picture. But anyway, she did hers. And these beads here, right here, are the fabric. I thought they were actually beads, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And but she said, no, that's just the fabric. But I thought it was some beaded fabric. But the bag is really really cute, and she enjoyed doing the bag as well. So those are the two bags, from one from Val and one from Marina. So now I'm gonna go ahead and bring um, Robin on.
Hi.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna put you up.
Okay.
Oh, oh, you're little bitty if I do it that way. I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out how to make it bigger.
oh. Well, I did the Alexandria Quilt as you go tote, and I used Jelly Roll from that's Anne of Green Gables fabric, and it has the boxed corners. I don't know if I'm holding it the wrong. I don't know how this camera works. And inside, I lined it with another Anna Green Gables fabric, the purple. And then the straps, I did the back of them in white, and then it was the two thing with the webbing inside of the purple and the batting inside of the white. And then I used another jelly roll strip for the binding. And I just did a plain simple bag. That's all. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing these.
And that's a very beautiful bag. I fell in love with that purple and green, and those colors were so vibrant and everything. And of course, you zip right through that as usual,
Oh,
and got it made. But yes, that's a beautiful bag, and thank you so much, Robin.
thank you.
So okay, I am going to I'm gonna go ahead and show mine because I did. I think I got everybody. I got Becky, Deborah, Robin, Danielle, Leslie, Taisha, and me. And Jackie, I got you. You sent me your picture, but I'm not going to be able to show it tonight, unfortunately, because one, you sent it via via text, which I can't get it my picture to this like that, and I have to have it emailed to me so I can put it in a PowerPoint in order to get it to put it up. So going forward, let's make sure we can do that. That's no problem. And I really regret that I can't show it because it is a beautiful bag. The only thing I can possibly do is I'm going to put this picture here. There we go. That's the best I can do as far as showing it. So you guys did get a chance to see Jackie's bag. And I don't know exactly what pattern this is. I think it is a June Taylor tote, but I'm not sure what the pattern is. But hers is really, really beautiful as well. And she did show the inside. The inside is lined, and she put something. Let me see, what does it say? See if I can read it. Oh, she put a name in the inside. That's what she did. She put her name in the inside, and it is a zipper bag. She put the pocket in there, the lining, the pocket, and a zipper. So, like I said, we definitely have overachievers here. So, um, her bag was very, very cute as well, as you can see. So I'm glad that I thought about it. I said just show the picture, and hopefully people can see it. So now here is my bag. Now, mind you, I told you guys that I've never done any quilting or anything before. So I did a June Taylor, Sew As You Go bag, and I did the Alexandra pattern, and I chose to do an African print or African, trying to back it up where you can see it kind of hard. But this is what I did. And it does have the box corners, as you can see the bottom, and the strap as well, the same way that the pattern calls for, where you have the batting and the webbing. I think the webbing is the white part and the batting is this blue part here. Now, I did not line my bag. I did not know because I'm an underachiever. I used the lining and the quilting the way the pattern told us to do it. But this is how it turned out. Now, I have to tell you, I was so gung ho to do an African print. I ordered the fabric and I got it and everything, and I picked it out and did all of that. And as I was stitching it, I wasn't happy with the way those colors were blended in there and looking and everything, and I wasn't happy. So I decided to I'm gonna make another one. Towards the end, once I got it just about made and it started coming together, I realized, oh, this bag don't look too bad after all. Well, by that time, I had already gotten the other one, and I decided to go ahead and make it. So, with that being said, I ended up making two. This one I did with black and white jelly roll as well. The African print was jelly roll, and this is black and white jelly roll. This is the June Taylor, and I did the same thing with the straps. But since I had all these overachievers that I had to kind of hang in there with, I got smart and I lined my bag and I made a pocket. Let's see. I put a pocket in it too. I didn't put, see, Taisha didn't tell me she was going to do the keychain thing, so I would have done that. But I put the pocket in and I lined it. So I stepped up my game a little bit. I stepped up my game a little bit. I had to keep up with these girls. I had to keep up with them. But the one thing about the so long, we learn. We learn, we teach, we show. I'm not gonna say we compete, but we do try. Well, I do. I try to keep up as much as I can. But all of this is new to me. So I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning. But it was a lot of fun. And Taisha said I can still put the keychain in there. Yeah, I probably could. And I just might do that. But anyway, it was a fun project, and I was able to do two bags. I'm glad I got the two bags because they're nice size bags, and you can never have too many nice totes. Everybody's tote came out really, really well. I'm really proud of how everything went. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Now you can tell the ones that know what they're doing. Definitely, you can tell the ones that know what they're doing, and you can tell the ones that don't know what they're doing. But anyway, I'm learning. I'm learning. Now, quilting is not my forte. This is the first time I've quilted anything, except for I keep forgetting about the Kimberbell pillow that I did, which was nowhere near this kind. It was more applique and stuff like that, just a little bit of patchwork, but mostly appliques and stuff. But this one was the quilt as you go tote by June Taylor. This was both of them are the Alexandra. I may or may not do a different pattern. I'm not sure, but it won't be anytime soon. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did it. Um, um, we chit chat, we laugh, we talk, but we learn, and that's the most important thing about it. So anybody that's interested in joining our little so long group, you're always welcome to do so because we're open to everybody that wants to. And I do want to reemphasize that I don't want to put anybody on the spot that feels uncomfortable about getting in front of a camera. You do not have to if you don't want to. I would love for you to do that to show off your work because it is just showing off what you've done. And you can definitely do it without showing your face. If that's an issue, that's not a problem for me because we are looking at the product. But anyway, we do have another so long schedule. It is going to start, if my memory serves me correctly, we're going to do it, I think, the 22nd of May. Um, I'm going to be out of town all of next week in Florida visiting my son. So we will not be starting the so long then like we had initially stated. We will start it the next week. And we will be doing a I did not mean to do that. Sorry. anyway, we will be doing a crib size or lap size quilt. So yes, I will be quilting some more. This is a bigger quilting project. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Cause this I gotta cut out and quilt. The totes I didn't cut anything out because I used jelly roll. But with the quilt that I'm doing, I could have used jelly rolls because they're strips, most of them. But I bought fabric that I'm going to be using my scan and cut to cut out my fabric and go ahead and do the stitching. Now, I know Leslie mentioned when she was showing her bag about the scant quarter inch, which I didn't know anything about until I saw the video from the June Taylor person representative that was doing the demo, and she mentioned the phrase scant quarter of an inch, which basically meant less than a quarter of an inch. And once you did the less than a quarter of an inch stitch with those June Taylor patterns and the 2.5 inch jelly roll strips, everything fit. They didn't fit before. So that was something that we had to learn. But anyway, well, I had to learn doing mine because I realized this ain't working. So I came up with my own scant quarter of an inch until I read and I said, oh, well, I already figured that out because that's the way, only way it was going to fit for me. But that's what we did. So next, the 22nd, which is the Wednesday, a week from this coming Wednesday. No, it's not. Yeah, it's a week from this coming Wednesday that we will be starting our new project. Anybody interested? Please feel free to join. We will be more than happy to welcome you in, and hopefully we can get some more people that want to do that. Now we do something different every time. So we're not quilting, we're not a quilting club. It started off with embroidery, and I still wanted to stay embroidering, but we are open to learn. So we get together, we do what we do, then we discuss what we want to do next, vote on it, and then we move forward with that. So I can't even tell you what's coming down the pipe because we don't know. But we do have the little quilt coming up in, in a couple of weeks. And Leslie, Leslie. I can still see you. You didn't know I can still see you, but I can still see you laughing at me. I can't get you off for some reason, so I can see you. That's kind of funny though. It's almost like we're on the Zoom. I can't hear you, but I can see you. But anyway, I don't know why I can't shut you down. For some reason, I got everybody shut down but you, and I cannot shut you down. So I don't know what that is, but I'm not gonna worry about it. But let me see some of the comments that were made. Jackie said, "Looks great, Shirley. Thank you for all your work in coordinating it so long. You are more than welcome." And Leslie, thanks, Robin. I plan to make more of the pattern now that you know how to fold it. Uh, yeah, nice bags made by all have to include pockets and key keeper. Um, yes, all of the bags, they are gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. And Carol, you said always zippers. Now, I wish I had put a zipper at the top of my bag. It did not call for it. I didn't think about it. But as I'm in the process of getting ready to pack, and I want to take my laptop with me because my plan is to do a live on Tuesday, even though I'm going to be out of town, as I mentioned last week. I do still plan to do the live this coming Tuesday. So I will be taking my computer. So I was thinking about just putting my computer in one of my totes. And then I realized it doesn't have a zipper on it. and I don't want to put it in there and without a zipper and maybe lose something. You got to stick your bag up under the seat and all that mess. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So the next tote that I do has to have a zipper, even if I have to figure out how to do the zipper myself. These have the simple binding, like I saw Carol said something about nothing with binding is simple. Somebody said simple binding, and nothing with binding is simple. That is true. That is true. So let me see what else was said that I may have missed. Yeah, love the blue and white. That was absolutely gorgeous, Deborah's bag. I just fell in love with that piping around there. That was a beautiful touch. Um, Robin says everybody totes are gorgeous. And Leslie, you say you plan to make more with another pattern that shows me how to fold a towel cut. Yeah, okay. Doing the cow towel. And Leslie, I took my scan and cut out of the box, y'all, and inventory this content. Plan to use it for the next project. Yay! Good, good, good. Not everybody will do the same thing. Of course, everybody is free to do what they want to do. That's the other thing. Like Danielle did her zipper purse. You can do whatever it is you want to do. We do come up with a suggestion, with a decision. We're going to do this that, and the other, and then the next thing you know, we do whatever. So we're all there's no rules and regulations and restrictions and all of that kind of stuff that requires you to do exactly what you know. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. There's none of that. So you know, if we decide to do quilting and somebody else wants to do another tote or one of whatever, then that's what they'll do. No big deal. We just want us to get together, learn from each other, um, the camaraderie, the fun, the sharing of ideas, and like I said, the most important thing is the fact that we do learn from each other. Somebody has something, some tips, some knowledge, some information that they can share that's going to be helpful to somebody. So that's what we like doing. That's what we do, and that's what makes it a fun process. And then the end product always turns out beautiful work. So that's the thing that makes it worth participating. For me, this is our third project, I believe it is. I believe this is the third project since we started last October, and, and I think it's the third one. And we'll keep going as long as everybody wants to keep going. At least that's the plan. So um, come join us. And Leslie, you said once, what is it? Once you learn how to do sew a zipper, it opens up a whole new world. I know how to use one side of the zipper for a coin purse from Crafty Gemini. Well, see, that was new for me. What Becky did, I thought that was so cool. I love that, Becky. Becky, Leslie, you all gonna have to show me how to do that because I think that is really, really cute how she did the one zipper did this and then you can open up the other part, all of that. Um, I don't watch the crafty Gemini consistently, so I haven't picked up any of those kinds of skills. I guess if I'm going to be doing any type of quilting of any kind, I need to start watching some of these quilting shows so I can kind of brush up or keep up or learn or do something. But it is so much. And Taisha, there's a way for you to stitch a zipper in on the embroidery machine. Yes. Who was that mentioned that? Somebody mentioned that. I don't remember, but yeah, I heard that. I, of course, don't know how to do it, but yes, I heard that, which makes it easy to do. You said it was in one of her mini bag clubs. Yeah, the crafty Gemini. But I, like I said, I don't do crafty Gemini consistently, so I don't know that yet. Um, so where am I? Okay. So I am it's almost 10 o'clock, so I'm not going to go into the shipping information that I had looked up. We can talk about that another day. I do know that shipping can cost an arm and 17 legs, which gets on my last nerves. But there are ways to save money on shipping that we can discuss the next time that I talk about a subject like that, um, which will not be next week. I'm going to be talking about something else, but it won't be that. But Taisha gave me an idea that I'm going to discuss maybe next week if I don't think about something else before then. But we can visit that at another time. And Leslie, you said you have done many in the hoop bags with zippers, just lay it and stitch it. And is that how you do it in the uh, embroidery machine? Now, I know that's how you do it when you're doing just regular on a sewing machine, but and I put zippers in. I put zippers in, and I put zipper in the little zipper bags and all of that kind of stuff like that. And let me think. I have done that. I'm losing my mind. I have put a zipper in on the embroidery machine. It just dawned on me because I've done all of those disorderly thread bags. And we always put the zipper in. The disorderly thread, little bags, the tennis shoes and all of that kind of stuff. I've done several of those and I've put those zippers in on the embroidery machine. So I've done it. I just totally forgot about it. I haven't made one of those in a while. So yeah, the Converse bags, exactly. Yes, I've done that. And Leslie says you can do it on the serger too, which I'm pretty sure is, yeah, you can do it on the serger. You do it on your embroidery machine. You can do it on the sewing machine. You can do it on the serger. And disorderly threads and little B. I don't do a lot of little B. I do have some patterns, and I think I've done a few of them, but I haven't done one with a zipper. But the disorderly threads, I've done several of those, and I have done the zippers. So thanks for making jogging my memory because I'm thinking, okay, I've not done that, but yes, I have done the zipper using your embroidery machine, and you're right. It can be done. It can be done. Becky, you said you learned from Christine Home Affairs. She is on YouTube and she is very good at sewing. Good. So I will have to look her up. And Leslie, you said Embroidery Garden, EMB Library have in the hoop bags with zippers. Yeah. An embroidery garden. But yeah, I've done in the hoop bags with zippers, as I've stated. I just had forgotten. That's all. I just had forgotten that I had done that. My memory had to be jogged because sometimes I do stuff, and if it's been a while, then I forget that I did it. And it's been a while since I've done those things. I go straight ahead, and what happened in the back happened in the back, and I have to remind myself, oh yeah, you did that, you did that, yeah. Especially if you're not doing something all the time. And Carol, you said you just found Christine Home Affairs yesterday. Okay, I have not. I this is my first time hearing about her, so I have to look her up. Had not heard of her before. Um, but see, those are the other things that we do when we're doing the sew along. We talk about people that we watch, what we've learned, and those kinds of things. So, like I said, it is a lot of learning and sharing and tips and tricks and know how and all of that we do on when we're doing the sew along. So that's what makes it fun while we're doing our projects. And sometimes our projects go longer than what we had planned for. And then sometimes, our overachievers get done before everybody else. And you know who you are. One day when I grow up, I'm going to be an overachiever. And I'm going to be able to do something y'all can't do. And no, that ain't gonna never happen because I'll never catch up with Taisha. She's got way, way, way too much experience on me. So, but anyway, but it is now 10 o'clock, and believe it or not, I have a project that I must get done tonight before I go to bed. So I definitely have to get off of here. And Leslie, you said you have more zippers than I need from Madam So Quilt Show. Are you talking about the zipper patterns or just zippers in general? Because I have a lot of zippers. I don't have a lot of zipper patterns because I don't buy a lot of stuff like to make. I buy a lot of designs, but I don't buy a lot of patterns to make things just to buy them. If I buy a pattern to make something, I usually just go ahead and make it. That's probably why I don't have a lot of UFOs, because I usually only buy patterns if I'm going to do something with it. So, um, good deals on zippers from Madam. So, okay, good. So that's good to know. More information. So I do thank you guys for watching me tonight. Again, as usual, as usual, as usual. I could get my thumbs up, my thumbs up. My marketing person wasn't on here tonight to remind people to give me a thumbs up. So I forgot to do it. But can you guys please, 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 please give me a thumbs up? It is very important, as you guys know. It helps the channel. So please give me a thumbs up. If you like the video, give me, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, hit the notification bell. Plan to come back. And you can always shoot me a message about topics that you're interested in. Comments are very, very, very important. I do appreciate the comments, the questions, all of that. That is extremely helpful to the channel. So with all of that being said, I'm going to say good night. And again, do not forget to hit that thumbs up, that like button, that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. And you guys take care. The next time that you see me, I hopefully will be in sunny Florida. And keep your eyes open because I may surprise you with some surprise lives while I'm there. Who knows? You never know what may pop up. So just keep an eye out. So you guys take care and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Good night.